There I am. Okay. Good night, everybody. We just got back from the hospital. My brother's having a baby. My brother's wife is having a baby. She's doing all the hard work, of course. So, been a fun day. I think we were about to quit for the night, but this might actually get cut short, apparently. So, sounds like baby may be on its way. And if that's the case, then I might get to see it in a couple hours. So that's good stuff. So everybody cheer on my first niece, which is really, really cool. Okay. I'm going to draw a double page spread. Trying to lick a batch of pencils so that I can do a batch of inks. And then we'll have a lot of fun doing that. All right, so it's been a long day already. Oh, where's my pen? There it is. Yeah, I'm very excited, so. Yeah, I get it. My brother's wife is doing all the hard work, but it just sounds really cool to say my brother's having a baby, which is also kind of true, and much shorter for the headline. All right, I'm just gonna cruise and get as much work done as I can because I'm probably gonna have to go back to the hospital in a couple of hours. All right, you guys figure it out, buddy. Sit here. Yeah. Okay, I guess you can sit here. It's gonna be cat cam. Yeah. All right, so here's the story behind this one. This is another page that we have added. This was a single page. All right, you're gonna have to go. Sorry, buddy. That just was way too cramped, and we've extended this sequence into a double page spread. Oh, he needs attention. Yeah, I've been gone all day. Yeah. So the story behind this, yeah, this was a single page. It was way too much information. It felt very, very clipped. It needed to breathe, and we need to get just a couple more beats across, and have a nice. But yeah, I might be tired. Not as tired as my brother, and definitely not as tired as his wife. But I'm good. Everybody's good. I definitely had a ton of energy today, and communicated a lot of great ideas. Had stuff is really happening. It's very exciting, but it's also very burdensome. It's a heavy load, and a lot of responsibility. And all I think about is drawing. Well, not all, but I'm anxious to get back here in the saddle with you guys because that's really where I want to be and where I need to be. All right, so expanded to a double page spread. This is Red Rooster and some allies. Strong Boy landing at the big town airfield. Be greeted by the mayor and a press pool. Nothing too tough. It was just a lot of exposition to get around. Neb. Oh, all right. Yeah, we're having a niece. It's very exciting, and I think it's on its way. Pretty shortly. I think things are about to go into full swing. Yeah, Chumley is sweet. This was Hamburger. Hamburger always sits here next to me. He is a good cat. All right, so when we were in Vicksburg, we expanded this. We added 4 pages to the book. This is one of them. We did a kind of read through with Kelsey was with us and Patrick. Crazy cousin Neb is in the chat, everybody. He was drunk uncle's accident, but we love him anyway. But he's still got them drawings that he stole from me. And I know about Grandma's secrets, Neb. All right, so Patrick did this. This is pretty cool, I think. So while we were in Vicksburg, and I was going back and penciling stuff and inking pages, he pulled this with some photo reference. I brought some models, biplane model here, and did a little photo manipulation and some 3D screwing around and stuff, and created this, which I think will be very handy and helpful to use in this layout. I'll probably just trace right over it. And it was done to match a thumbnail. Oh, boom. This will make things a little easier. I'm probably going to manipulate this just a little bit. Cousin Neb likes to pretend he's an artist, and he is because he stole all my drawings from high school and junior high, and he tries to pass them off as his own. It's really a tragic story, the story of Neb. Anyway, I'll tell it sometime. Hello, Eric. How are you? I'm glad you checked in here. I feel like this is like maybe the best way for Eric and I to communicate. Like it's kind of weird because I could communicate on so many different platforms to so many different people. It kind of gets insane. I don't know how much more I can handle. But Eric's it's pretty easy to communicate to Eric on YouTube. I'm sure he's working hard. I haven't actually checked, but I know Eric. Eric is a killer, and everybody knows it. So his reputation alone gives me confidence. this thing a bit bigger. Maybe a bit more of a dramatic angle. Let's not get crazy here. Let's not get crazy. But I want to get a good big shot of the plane. This was a clever solution. I like it. This was Patrick's idea, so I give it credit where credit is due here. The other cool idea about this is on the water tower. This is also Patrick's idea, so you can write big town. Much cleaner than that. So we get lost, and we could even give big town like a little logo. I don't know, maybe it's like I don't know, let me think about it. What would big town's logo be? Yeah, so I'll loosen this all up and redraw all of it so it's in my own hand. You know, it's based. This is some mock-ups that Patrick did based off some of these sketches. I need to drop this down a bit and get my panel borders in. This is the copy trim, the trim and the edge of the copy, which always tends to make, in my mind, pretty good place for borders to end, and borders. That keeps your pages more uniform in their margins, which, in my mind at least, makes the books more readable and more organized. I might change those. That's the problem. Like, you think you have it, but then you kind of think you could come with something just a little bit slicker, a little bit easier. You guys get to watch me wrestle with this in real time, and probably look like a douche. This last panel works so much better in vertical. But that sandwiches this panel, which really needs to breathe. Feel cool. All right. Gonna read the Dickens. I hope you read it twice or 3 times. It'll be fun. It will be good. We're working very hard to make it worth the wait. So, I'll probably talk more about this. This is stuff I was thinking about earlier. All right, this is my expectation. This is what I think is going to happen. And I hesitate to even put this intention out there, but it's just that I really think this is going to get a little worse. So, I believe that we're going to have some negative attention coming our way as we roll out our initiative, essentially. And I think, obviously, I'm very imperfect, make a lot of mistakes, learning a lot, but we're trying to do some really cool, great big things, and we have amazing stories, and some great creators working with us. I think we're going to have some, and backers understand this. Backers understand what we're doing, because I'm doing this all publicly and letting them know, and you guys get it. Everybody gets it. And I think my thought is that most of our backers, our supporters, the people that are coming here, and the people that are excited about what we're doing, are quite cool with it, and those that weren't have been refunded, and we've been very open about that as well. So my thought is, just don't end up like CrossGen. No, I don't know. Well, I've asked about those stories, and I want to learn. Like, I really do want to. I've asked several people about those. Anyway, you're going to make me get sidetracked. Okay. So my thought is we're going to have some people coming and telling you what I tell you every single time I broadcast, just about. I think we're going to have a lot of people that are pretending to be, I don't know, I'm not going to say pretending to be. My thought is, because they probably are upset. My thought is we'll have people that aren't necessarily backers throwing a lot of shade our way for stuff that I tell you every single broadcast that we do. That the book is late, obviously. I'm very sorry about it. We've taken on a lot. But we're making amazing things, and I'm showing them to everybody. And just my forewarning to everybody. I think that's probably we're probably gonna get a little heat, or I will. I'll bear the brunt of it. But I know you guys have my back, because you know what we're doing. Yeah, so these are I shot some models. I ordered these I ordered one biplane model that was fit for the era. This is actually quite a beautiful plane. I forget what it's called. I think it's a Boeing. Yeah, we can have zero tolerance. I don't know. I came in a little hard and heavy on that for a reason. I wanted to try to set some boundaries, but I also don't want to be. Just be mindful that I'm of the personal opinion that I am definitely not immune to criticism, and I'm certainly worthy of quite a bit of it. So I don't want to be like block out just criticism, because I don't think that would be fair. So I'll just try to be mindful of people, that because people might actually be really upset and have a good cause for it. That's always very possible. Um, but I think more often than not, I think most people are just probably trying to start stuff up. All right, now let's solve these puzzles. Okay. So we're gonna have the crew flying over. Red Rooster, Miss Midnight, Strong Boy. I don't know how they all fit in this plane, but I'm gonna have to figure that out in the redraw. And they're landing a big town airfield. We'll give it some special name. I think Mark Pellegrini gave it a name. I forget. To be greeted by the mayor and a bit of fanfare. I think that's all pretty good. I'm really, I could be a little picky. I'm coming to understand this now that I'm working with other people. So I will. Patrick probably had that in a place he really wanted it, and I'm sure it was very considered. But then I just go and move it. That's the way it's going to be. I have reasoning. I try not to do anything without like a logic, and I do think I'm frustrating, especially to coworkers, possibly. But there's a logic behind the madness. So if it starts out, where did it start out? I can also be very blunt, and I'm realizing now that maybe is a great way to run like a studio by myself. But maybe the world doesn't really work that well for you. All right, so I moved it. I want to move it. Not there. There either. Move it here. Make it a little bigger. Definitely make it bigger. We're doing like a bit of a flyby. Way the mayor can talk over it. And it puts them a little closer to the crowd, and it weights it differently. So now you've got a nice pause up here. Okay, really the main reason for doing this is so that the mayor's dialogue balloons are at the top, because it's the next thing you're gonna be. If you're a reader, I remember the logic. If you're a reader, you're gonna read across this top panel from left to right, and then your eyes are gonna be searching for where to go next on a page this big. So you really got to spell it out. So the mayor is giving a speech, something real corny or whatever, but to catch your eye, the speech balloons need to be at the top of this. So by moving the plane down, then Eric's probably listening, so Eric will know intuitively to put the speech balloons up here because of the way the shapes are organized. And then the reader will be primed to go in the correct direction and not get lost. They will not get lost on their adventure. Well, I'm moving things around to make your job easier. Yeah, the plane shot is gorgeous. That was actually Patrick's idea. And then we ran with it. I think it turned out really cool. You spent a good deal of time finessing that, and then creating the photo mesh for the background to help me along a little bit, which is really super handy. Yeah, this is going to be kind of one of the money shots of the first issue for sure. This is a new page. There's an added page here. Hardy Boys. I used to read Hardy Boys. Yeah. Good times. Alright, so some of this just isn't working. Some of this isn't working. That's okay. You know what? I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Alright. Alright, just first blush. Real fast. This would be a gesture. Yeah, he doesn't need to have his other arm raised up in like a rapture pose. That's not really very political. This guy is a politician. Alright, so where's my horizon line? I would say put it pretty low. No. I think it was here. I'm just playing right now. Figure this out. Hello, DJ2K. Thanks for the shout out. If I put it that level, all I really need to do is change him. I don't think that works. Anyway, this is first blush, so let's just keep moving. See, like, too much of it. It's in my way. Reduce like visual clutter. Otherwise, it feels awkward. Now I feel like I can control. It feels like I have control of the weights, I suppose. I can give it a little bit more style. I don't feel like I'm tracing. probably make some of the ellipses and stuff just a little bit more dramatic. Probably do the same back here. Doesn't have the drama. It seems like the pull of the front drags this behind it, and the energy's at the front, so it should really kind of direct. Oh man, doing all this stuff. I doing all this in perspective is going to be kind of tough. Yeah, I've got some haters. Turns out. That's thumbs down guy. I think it's the same guy, but I think there might be two of them. Oh well. Can't help myself. I always start getting into my gray tone palette. It's just how I see things. I'm sure some people think I'm nuts. It's kind of easy to block in shapes, and then you kind of carve them with light. You see where all the bends are. If something form, it's just far easier. And then I know where to put the emphasis in the line weights. Or it helps anyway. Yeah, it's making a bit of a racket. Thumbs down guy. Yes, I've made him into a mascot. Intentionally so. I'm glad that works. Thumbs down guy. That guy that everybody hates. Everybody hates thumbs down guy. Thumbs down guy. We could make him into a villain. But that might be just going on a bit too far. I think he got a friend. I said there were 2 thumbs down in the last video. So he and his wife's boyfriend both got in on the action. Or is that joke old? Alright, let's draw this thing. Already 3 layers. I can't remember where I picked the lines. Dang it. Alright, that's panel borders. Quite frankly, I could just pick it up. Oh, they're on 2 different layers. Oh well. Multiply. Yes. Multiply. These are on separate layers. You could just be on 1 layer. Yeah, that's way easier. This is panel borders. I can lock this one. What is this? Nonsense. There's a bunch of layers of nonsense. Start to lose my mind after a while. Trying to figure out what's on what layer. I usually just like just 2 or 3, 4, 5 tops. I don't get to get too complicated. Alright, we get a gray, got some line art, and these are the panels, and I've locked the panel layer. Oh, hey, thank you. We were just talking about your show. I listened to a couple episodes. Very good. Indicom TV. I think you guys sent me a message? Or maybe that was somebody else. If you're the ones that sent me the message, I did see it, and I will respond. Yeah, I listened to a couple of your shows. Yes, they were. I think you did a very good job. You're very eloquent and plain spoken at the same time. It's very good, and the sound is nice. My sound, horrible, horrible, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon, for sure. How are they all going to fit in this plane without looking ridiculous? Why didn't I think of this? I did think of it. I just avoided. I just figured I'd figure it out when I got there. Maybe it's just the two of them. But on the taxi, there are two planes. That could solve it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Long day. Yeah, I think that's the only. I think that's the only way. Otherwise, it just looks like a clown car. I want the characters to act here as well. Like I want them to have some motion because they're talking about what's going on the ground. They can see from up here. This isn't really giving too much away, but like, because the mayor's down here and he's politicking, and they can see the fanfare from the sky, and that's a little frustrating for old Red Rooster, right? I mean, he's come all this way to. He's obviously up to this is pretty serious business, obviously, and he knows as soon as he lands he's going to get hoodwinked into being a prop on the mayor's next campaign. Frustrating. It's the life of a celebrity. That ain't easy, folks. A clown car would be pretty cool. A flying clown car would be cool, yes. I don't know, that might be. I think there's going to be a reason we haven't seen that trick pulled. I have quite a few pages left. Quite a few. I'm going to do them all. I'm going to do them live, most of them. I do have. We're closing in on. I think that, no, this isn't. I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but we have across all the projects quite a number of pages. And it's everything is getting much faster now. Everything is getting much faster across all the books. Not that obviously Butch is a fast artist. Butch had a scheduling conflict. Well, he was drawing invaders. Everybody knows that. So it wasn't really a scheduling conflict. It's just he was working on it when he could. And we are but a mere startup. And we're unbelievably hugely fortunate to get to work with Butch guys. So we are willing to wait for greatness. And I do not never ever want him. I hope he doesn't. I don't ever want him to feel bad that it took so long, because it took me so long. These things take a long time. It took David a little bit to get in the pocket on the Bass Reeves thing, but man, dude, what he's doing is just it's gonna be amazing. I think if you're not familiar with David's work, he has a kind of a lot of DC Warner Batman related work. But what he's doing on the Bass Reeves project is really special. I don't know how to really express it. I will find the words. But David is a great artist, and he has really found his voice on this, especially as he's settled into it. I'm just blown away. And Butch's pages are amazing. The staging on his shots is really incredible. The way he orders the information, the way he inks is just mind-boggling. So I'm hoping this is all worth the wait for everybody. So obviously my project is late too, and I've been given a lot of grace, but we are working towards good things. And what the great hope is that that all shines through in the end. So appreciate it. Yeah, Eric's seen it all. They're all different but similar. I don't know. Maybe Eric can speak to that. Eric's seen more than just about everybody. I think, since he's lettering all the books. So if you want your own sneak peek, you'll have to go through Eric. You'll probably have to torture him to get his Dropbox password, but I don't think it would work. I think he'd probably cut you, and you'd bleed out and die. Concrete Leper. Butch Guy stuff I have seen is mind-blowing. It is, especially with the inks and color work. I hope the Futurist releases a black and white edition. So since we have Indiegogo, my thought is Indiegogo is very fan focused, and as we grow as a business and we continue to use Indiegogo, or maybe other platforms, but we'll have a growing mailing list of people that are very passionate about special projects. So I think what I'd like to do is go back and release some of these things later on, next year, the year after that, in maybe artist editions, 11 by 17 black and white, or maybe with some gray, and maybe lettered. I don't know. In the old Dropbox folder. Oh, Anyway, I'm glad you guys are excited. I'm certainly excited. There's still just a lot of work to do. And I don't think there's any, anyway, oh, I was getting off topic. Yeah, doing special editions on Indiegogo. Like, for instance, we're planning to run the issue ones of all of these books as founders editions. And that went over really well. That went over really well the other night. So, a special printing. We're working on the language and some ideas for that right now. Elizabeth, thank you. Elizabeth's here. That's very nice. And I'm very much an imperfect messenger for all of this, which is, I think, a little bit unfortunate. I'm not without charisma, but I'm also, not. I'm wearing a lot of hats. Maybe if I was fully focused on promotion, I might be more perfect at it, I suppose. Doing what we can. I think I'm just trying to have fun with it, and I think as long as that happens, we'll all have fun. I like that shape there. Yeah, that looks kind of boss. So the chick is the pilot. Red Rooster and Rascal will ride in the back, and then Strong Boy, I guess, will have his own plane. Maybe with, I don't know, somebody else, a pilot. Which might be a little small. And it's putting over here at the side because she hears a rattle. So I want to go ahead and visualize that. My thought is it's just a fun play. A fun play for the reader. Helps drive the point home. Okay, so this plane is called the Majestic. The plane has a name. It's kind of like a character in the book. Oh, cool. All right. Hang on one second. All right, let's write something here. Okay, so Sweetcast has invited me on. He would love to interview me on a live stream. And to that, I will say, let's see. I am down for that. But I'm open. Let's say I think the best way to say it is I'm definitely open to the idea. I'll put it in writing here. Open to the idea. I'm quite positive on it, actually. I just don't like to make commitments live on YouTube. Does that make sense? Let's talk. Open to the idea. Let's talk. I try to be careful with my words in my commitments. I can also be a little squirrely sometimes, but that's part of the charm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to squirrel on you. Just I'm positive to the idea and open to the discussion. And that's something that could likely very well happen. Possibly. Maybe. I think I follow you on Twitter. I'll double check. With the, I gotta say, I mean, like, so I don't want to appear overly cautious, even though I probably am that kind of person. But in my defense, the media landscape has just changed so dramatically, very quickly, in terms of comic books and entertainment and in kind of just general, that you always have to do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. And so you say it sounds so weird to say that together. You get it. You all get it. Things have been crazy in the world, especially the comic book world. Nutso. And I don't necessarily want any part of Nutso, but there are a lot of great people, and that's what seems to be boiling to the surface here, which is encouraging. Very encouraging, actually. And I guess my problem is, like, you could easily, I mean, I could field any kind of question. It's fine, right? I'm not. It, it doesn't matter if I get jumped by somebody. I mean, I'm talking like rhetorically, whatever. I can handle all that. It's just, why would I want to deal with it? I'm not saying that you would ever do that, or anybody in this chat would do that. I don't think you would. But I would actually love to fight. I think that's part of my problem. I'm trying. I'm actually pretty good at it, and I enjoy it, and that's a problem. And I can't indulge in stuff like that. I have books to make. People relying on me. Does that make sense? I actually would be quite eager, and I govern that. I try to be disciplined, and it's also usually pointless. You know, I don't have time to argue. Oh, yeah, back to this. The Majestic, the plane. Yeah, I'm very positive to the idea. So I think that's a good strong answer. Almost firm, with a little wiggle room. uh, Indicom TV would like to get Elizabeth on because of her coloring work, and her career has been awesome, and how she colors all my influences. She's worked with great people. Everything is awesome. Guys is incredible. Yeah. So yeah, those guys are legends. She might talk to you. She's really shy. I'm obviously not quite as shy. I got over that when I realized that I had to go out and win the bread. Can't can't be too shy. Uh, but she can be shy. And is gets really nervous with interviews and stuff. I try to encourage her a little bit more and more and coax her to come on here and just say hi to everybody. And that's just try to make her feel at home, I suppose. All right, about the plane. Keep getting distracted. It's got these it's like a wizard's hat. It's like a wrap, like a wizard hat. Wrapped like a wizard hat. That was the idea. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's hmm. There we go. Needed that hump for his head. Need to be a little longer. Uh, Now I'm in trouble. See, I don't think about people's feelings, and that's enough. I got to get better at that. And now I've upset Elizabeth. She's embarrassed. Okay. So, like a wizard's hat. I just realized that doing all this in perspective is going to be a bit tricky. What I need, maybe I'll just find a graphic. I bet I could find a wizard's hat pattern. Maybe. Probably not a really good one. I'll probably have to draw it myself, which is fine. Just gonna take a little extra time. Wizard star pattern. We're getting there. I'm just gonna have to draw it. Star moon pattern. Oh, well, that's better. Now this could actually work. Now we're getting some. Not very big. uh, I don't think this is gonna work either. I might not be doing myself any favors here. Cut it and stitch the pattern together. Probably just be easier to draw it. I guarantee you. That looks like a lot of friggin' technical work. That's no fun. We're here for fun. You guys don't want to watch a bunch of moving, cutting Photoshop shapes around. Probably take longer anyway. I'm out on that. Do it by hand. By eye. Oh man, I probably ought to, what I need to do, I'm gonna scrap all that. Alright, so I need to come up with need a perspective grid. And I need to break this out into squares. I need to break this out into blocks and shapes so that I can draw the pattern in perspective, or at least have some guidelines. So the best thing I have for that is, started there, is this through line. Let's figure out where this plane sets on perspective. Obviously the ground, the airfield here in the distance is going to be on its own. Got its own thing going on, but this is on a different axis. Defined by like this little off. Through line here, down the middle of the wing. A little off. Okay. And the next one would be the tip of the nose. Right there. Right there. So, got the vertical. Probably about right there. Got what's in my lap. Alright, buddy. Alright, this is what's going on here. What did you come here to do? Get in my way. He's demanding attention. Alright. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna give you a wrench. And I'm not gonna. Elizabeth's not gonna give any of our personal details in the chat. Probably. Indicom TV is a moderator. Alright. Cat, you're a little in my way, but I can't quite put you down. He's pretty sweet. Yeah. Alright, so I guess I'll keep the perspective on this pretty flat. Not totally flat though. Got a little bit of razzle dazzle. Alright, this cat is crawling all over my Cintiq. I'm making this very easy. Okay, this one's gonna fly around this way. This wing has a bit of a lift to it. How does it connect underneath? I am very happy I bought this. Oh, you know, this wing doesn't have a lift to it, but I drew it like it did. This is a kind of a flat fix. No, I think I like it this way. Got more like a got more sass. It does have a curve, which I neglected to put here. That's what that means. That's why it's looking awkward. Well, here we go. All right. We're done. At the top one. And now I've got to, consider that all these wings have like some curves. Like wings do. This one doesn't have a cutout here, but I kind of like the ones that do. I think that gives it a little more character. My gosh, this guy. Really fine. Yes. As with everything with this, I wonder what I've gotten myself into. Oh, that's not going to work for that. Because now I have to apply these star shapes and moon shapes to this curved wing and make it look correct. So I just made a new layer. I'll just sort of carve them out. Yes. Cool idea, in theory. A little bit tricky to execute. I wanted it to look kind of like a star field in the night sky. I think I'll give it a red stripe. Well, this is going to be like for Rooster Red. Right there. A racing stripe kind of. Or some type of badger. And again here on the tail. That's too much. So as I'm working, my Dropbox notifications keep popping up. You don't see that. That's Kelsey's in the Dropbox. Updating pages. So I guess I should take a peek at it. I get a notification every time he saves, which is actually pretty handy. And he gets one when I save. So it's actually pretty good way to stay in check. I've got to resolve the underside of this plane, which in my opinion, has kind of gotten away from me. Like it's got kind of a starts here and widens out to a flat bottom. Yeah, I like that. That's got a nice shape to it. This is actually not hard. I just did it like the normal logical way. So that scribbly, scrabbly way I was doing it. Still feels like the perspective is a little off. But... it's that same shape. This was supposed to be a quick pass. I actually need to pick up the pace here. Maybe, you know, it'd be kind of cool though. Bunch of stars going around here. Like that. And then maybe one like right here. I do think that's kind of cool. Alright, keeping that for sure. These all look great. Yeah. That makes it a little more patriotic and less wizardy. The rest of it can be kind of disorganized. Okay. Oh, but doing them all these different planes and in perspective is a little bit annoying. Anyway, I hope you guys like that. I hope that's interesting. Visually compelling. At least. For the paint job on a plane. It needs some cool like tech on this though. In my opinion, this is the red. This is the Majestic. The other plane can be the Red Rooster plane. This is actually a great exercise because I've just solved a fun problem. I have the room. I can make two planes because I need two planes, and one of them will be Red Rooster themed. And this is Miss Midnight's plane. I just couldn't figure out how to fit the characters in this without it looking really goofy. So we're just gonna give them their own plane. Comic book, people. Okay, that's enough of that. This was supposed to be a quick pass. Better zoom on through. All right, I do want to figure out the perspective for the airfield. The best, I think the best starting point I have for that is the water tower, which is going to be a prime, well, it's going to be a really prime kind of middle ground object. And I can put the Big Town logo on it. So, but I think I want to make this a little bit not quite so flat. You know what I mean? Very flattened perspective. With the pens. I love drawing with them. I really do, and I do draw with them. I've been using the quills though, not not with like dip pens with nibs, detachable nibs. Although I do use them occasionally. I love sketching with them. They're great. They're great for different kinds of drawing. Especially when you want to be very fluid and get a very nice stroke. They're very good for that. With a comic book, the tendency is to be a little bit more tedious. So it's a very delicate balance that you have to strike between making the artwork spontaneous, but doing comic book inking, which is really quite a tedious chore. Hey, buddy. Without choking the life out of your drawings. Oh, I think he's hungry. Maybe Elizabeth is listening and she'll feed him while I'm on my broadcast. Let's hope. Alright, so where is the horizon line on this shot? In the photo manipulation, it was the reference that Patrick gave me, it was way out. But I don't think I want to do that. I think somewhere right here. It wasn't that far off. Like that. I don't think I was really that far off. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm not going to argue with that. So I got the same results twice. Two different approaches, so gotta roll with the universe. It should work. I have made the this what do you call that? I'm not good with the technical terms for all this drawing stuff. I'm not a professor. Good night, Eric. Thank you. The receding perspective line, I've exaggerated that just a little bit. Just a little. I want to get too crazy. I think that will make it more, give it a little more life. Good morning. Very nice of you to stop by. Okay. I'm gonna ditch all that. We don't need that. That's a mess. Let's load this up too. Okay. All right, so what's waiting on them here is an airfield. That's the biggest thing to solve. Not too hard. Lock it in. Trees. Maybe. Probably not. Actually, you wouldn't have trees that close to an airfield. The shadows, I guess. You don't really have anything else in the foreground. Alright, so a windsock, I guess. It actually seems a little bit weird to have a water tower there, to be quite honest. Maybe not. I guess not. It does seem a little not up to code. But let's just roll with it, I think. Is that cool? Alright, so we've got the mayor has staged a photo op. We're gonna have some people. I guess these will be the people waiting on Red Rooster and the gang. Kind of a homecoming. We will have stage kind of set up maybe on the side of a hangar. Like that. Got the mayor here, you got some Miss Mayor, some attaches. Give this a number. Number 6 for the mayor. Okay. about some cars. Put cars over here. I have cars. Oh, this would be the mayor's car. What do you think? Some kind of Ford. Ford Deluxe. Something. 1934. A little off in our time period here, but I think you guys will let it slide. Put this car right here. This is the mayor's car. He wants to show it off. This guy's big stuff. Okay, that looks more like a truck. All right. So let's say the cars are parked. They're going to be parked on kind of this way. Bit of a diagonal. This is a car park. We'll do. We'll just put a few cars over here. That doesn't look weird. Hello, Matt D. Everybody's checking in. That's very nice. All right. So maybe some parked cars there. I think that that hangar is way too doggone big. It's like for a freaking space shuttle. These are bike lanes, not a military aircraft. That's more like it. That still may be too big. It's better. I want to get the kind of curvature of the lens here. So you see I took that line all the way through. That's just a sketch line. I took it all the way through so I could get an idea. I know this hangar has to meet the ground here. So I just want to see what that line looks like with the gesture followed completely from the shoulder all the way through with curvature. Let's just see what comes out of it. Same here. I'm going to give it a little bit more bend. Rubber banding is the way to think about it. So you're just tugging at that a little bit. Giving your a little bounce. Not too much. Not too much. Too expressive. All right, now behind the hanger, now we can have some trees. Like that. Maybe he's got the band. Oh, but I'm adding more crap for myself. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Alright, so we're not going to bring out the band. Otherwise, I really like this shot. I think it was a big hit with everybody. That goes on. That's overworked. There we go. There we go. That's better. All right. Hope you guys are having a good time. I need to check in with my mom. Check in with my mother, who is with my father, who is with my mother who is with my dad, and my brother, whose wife is in labor. So, I'm gonna check in real quick. Oh. What do you say? What do you say in this situation? All good? It just seems like a little flat. It's too late to make these kinds of decisions. But any word, how about that? Any word. That's a good one. Any word, question mark. Simple and elegant. That's what I was looking for. To be quite honest, it is nearly 1 a.m. here. I'll just, let me run through a real fast pass on the rest of this. I do like how this panel is coming together. I like that we've got some foliage in the background that's going to look really lovely in a pastel. Imagine this shot. So this is a midnight blue plain with these pale, maybe almost glow in the dark like stars. And this bucolic pastoral vintage airfield trees. It'll be kind of pastel. And it'll have these red, here's the mayor, and he's all decked out in his red, white, and blue banners. It'll be quite a fanfare on the ground. All right, let me sketch through the rest of this. This is a fun shot. All right, this shot here, very simply, let me just take a look at it. This is just gonna be like cars in the foreground. Just taking up some of the space there. And then a wide shot of the airfield. And the plane landing. It's kind of the silhouette. Like I want this really, really wide shot. I've already squished it too much. Of the plane. Thin, like hairline thin landing. Kissing the ground with one tire. Like an acrobat, like a toe. But it has to be done in the most like delicate of line for this, I think, to work. I sound like a crazy person. I know that. Know that. Remind me. So like skirt. That's just not it. Not the right. I'll figure it out. I think I need to probably flesh out the scene around this and think about it in terms of shape. That helps. Let me do that real quick, and it'll be a good lesson. I'm just going to erase this part. This all goes. I'm going to get rid of my original drawing too, because I don't want it to inform my choices. We're just going to attack it in one pass. I'm going to make some mistakes here. We've got some characters over here, also in silhouette. This would be a fanfare, maybe the mayor. The mayor rushing out to greet, or not rushing, but kind of directing the action on the ground. Like a boss. And maybe some cars. I think I really want to pull this one out. Maybe no dramatic foreground imagery. Just a nice long, wide angle shot. And you get a little skirt. Little smoke comes up from the skid. Like that. Maybe not too much. I think it was too dramatic the first time I did it. Alright. This one darken. It's getting to that time of night where I just kind of talk to myself while I'm working. Oh my gosh. Alright, cars here. Anyway, that's not quite right. But I'm losing steam. Just trying to get a blush on each one of these other ones before I quit, though. Blocking some of this. I need to come up with something interesting for the grounds here. Well, there's a road maybe leading out here. Good spot for the road, right there. Good stuff. And then I can have some trees. Yeah. Alright, so that's a good idea. This on normal. And that gives it a little bit of volume and texture. Very nice. This is the road. To the airfield. Yeah, hit the like. Go for it. Thumbs up. All right. Okay, now I kind of like this angle. More I've kind of sat with it. Maybe somebody pointing up. Hills of Big Town in the background. There we go. Nothing too dramatic. Very buttoned up, Big Town. Or so it seems. Speaking of buttoned up, I can't really go into the story, but I had to write an interesting email today. It was very interesting. Maybe I can talk about it sometime. It's kind of a crazy thing. You never know where the day's gonna go. But I got a kind of a morning curveball. It was in a way kind of fun and unexpected. And then the response I got was unexpected, but in a funny way. Alright. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've been saving this. What in the world? Alright, panel 1, 2, 3, panel 4. Red Rooster and Strong Boy are advancing to the motorcycle. So there's gonna be a motorcycle in this shot. Again, my fault. I don't like it. Maybe here in the foreground, I think I can see it. Put this on multiply. It's going to be rising line here. Mayor over here pleading with making his case here. Strong boys walking behind them, glaring. Yeah, okay. I get this one. I can see this. Alright, I just want to crank through this page. Hang on. I'm almost there. I think I kind of feel this. It's very sloppy, but I think the shot works. Alright, this one has them going around. They zip off, essentially. and the mayor gets left in dust, and they zip around. This was very unresolved in the sketch, and I think Matt V is probably right. I probably need to call this one. The last panel of this page has the villains huddled around a doorway, or at least one of the villains. So that would kind of be like this. Leering. In fact, that panel could be a lot smaller. And he sets up the last page. So this is a handoff to the final page, which I will not spoil, of the first issue, which is another new page. And it's coming together amazingly. The new pages bring it all together. I was very, very stuck there for a little while. We do kind of lose track of Miss Midnight on this page, which is something I probably need to sleep on. She stays behind because she hears a knocking in the engine, and that's no plot giveaways here. So she stays behind. There's going to be like a put over here. I'm going to do some lettering, and then she'll state it, which is not something it's always the best to do. It's done in exposition. It's a little cumbersome, but I don't know. There's sometimes no ways around that for the mechanic. So she stays behind, and she has to stay behind. We'll see. But we lose track of her. So they land the plane, and I like this shot, this long shot. We can get some nice clouds and a tree line in here. But then it goes right to Red Rooster hopping on his bike. And then he has to zip off, and then you see the villains. So there's stuff that has to be resolved here. You can't lose track of Miss Midnight. She needs a good handoff. You know, maybe she could be walking into the hangar alone. I like this. Okay, this is a little bit of, it's a little bit of detail. Maybe I should go ahead and sketch this out. You're watching this come together in real time. I'm just like, I'm just speaking my thoughts out loud here. Probably actually quite humiliating. All right, have an idea for a shot though. Go wide. Oh, you know what? I might do all of that in one panel. Come to think about it. Okay, say they land. How do I show them zipping off though? The idea I have is puts her, there's my center line, about right here. And this is where the camera is positioned. Probably like there. Alright, and so everything's going to kind of flex around this. That's the horizon line. Maybe just a little low. Too dramatic. It's going to be kind of a flat shot. Okay. And it's all going to radiate out from here. This will be a hanger. This may totally fail, by the way. Don't know. That's going to be a little bit small. With Miss Midnight alone, walking it into the hanger. In my head, this was a little more dramatic. It needs to be bigger. Barn doors are open wide, and it's actually quite dramatic because it's nice and black. Like they're walking everything into shadows alone. And that's a setup. And there's another one here. The airfield is kind of like here. And then you can have the mayor making his case. And then just have the Red Rooster on his motorbike, already speeding away, and he's leaving the mayor in his dust. And you can set the bike up right here, on or right here maybe. That works, easy peasy, nice and sleazy. I'll pull them out actually a little bit. Very good position. Alright, well, I'm glad I didn't quit. Glad I didn't quit, like Matt V suggested. Because quitters don't win. I think we solved the problem, made it better and easier. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing around. Right, these characters are too big. My opinion. Much more dramatic shot if they're small. 7 will be the one where the villains are. They're looking through the crack of the hangar. How did they get in the hangar, you might ask? Well, somebody's not paying attention. Alright, so we've established now our perspective to be about 2 head levels high, which means that's way too high. That's okay, I'll figure it out. I like that OE way better. Yeah, look at that, that works way better. We can make this far more dramatic. It should be way more dramatic and kind of down here. Okay. The crowd over here, including the mayor, and then they're just taking off. And in front, maybe you got what, a windsock blowing away from them, like this, to emphasize the drama. That works. Okay. Real rough here. And the cape flying, of course. It's a little long. I think it works. Alright, you put this on darken. Let's just whip this one out. Get this figure kind of roughed in. We'll see if this works. He's being a sneak. Being a snake. What do you like snakes? That's how you know they're bad guys. Okay. Okay, let's shake them up. It's gonna be popped behind some clouds, just like that. Bam! That's gonna look great. A little shadow over here on this guy. I love it when a plan comes together. This is looking good. This is looking very good. It's still a little unresolved in the motorcycle. I've got to draw a whole bunch of cars, which sucks, to make this look right. Maybe I can hide some of them in some bushes, cars and bushes. Okay, this is very good. I'm gonna send this on. We get Patrick's thoughts. Thank you, everybody. I don't know who all's listening to this. Everybody's doing great. Everything's very positive. I get grumpy sometimes, but everything's doing great. And everybody's doing a good job. So, and I mean that. So, I'm gonna get some rest. Good night, everybody.